What's good, YouTube? It's AJ Flame here, and I wanted to bring you guys with my updated Despia Shaddoll list. Now, this is the finished product of that said list that I had used over that big 3 weekend, and now I believe a week later after that, and we have the finished list. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. There are some changes that I made that differ from the previous list, and we'll just get into that when we get to those specific changes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the main first. Starting off with the Despia monsters, we have 2 of each. These ratios stay the same as I said before. These will most likely stay the same, and just because I love these ratios, and these are very nice. Then they do all that you need, but they do honestly need more monster support, more monsters with Despia in the name, but that's what Burst of Destiny is for, or Fallen of Albaz. But I'll showcase a Fallen of Albaz list later once I finish getting all of that stuff in the mail, specifically the Albazes. But we're gonna go ahead next to we'll move this over here, and we'll go next to the Shaddoll engine. Now, not much has changed with this one, I believe, from my last video. We got double Squamata, double Hedgehog, 1 Beast, 1 Dragon, 1 Wendy, 1 Ariel, and that is the full Shaddoll package. I'd say pretty standard, although most people will beg to differ to 1 Hedgehog at 1 and put another card in there, or maybe just run it at 1 and make the deck count 41. Yes, because this current list is 42. All right. I don't have to explain the Shaddolls because they've been around forever and you guys already know what they do. And now for the Dogma package, we got 2 Ecclesia and 1 Fleur. I did take out Maximus just because of those matchups where if you not accidentally, if you special summon Maximus, activate Maximus, send 2, and then your opponent sends 2, and it's a matchup like Drytron, you're sitting there like, oh, well, they just popped a card on my board and plussed on my turn, so it's not really a good idea. That's why I opted taking out Maximus for the most part. That's what I did, just for those matchups which are going to be very prevalent, especially if you're playing in higher level tournaments and like more competitive tournaments. You're like, okay, cool. Do you want to summon Maximus? No, not really. So that's why I cut Maximus, and then this Fleur is Fleur. That non-target negate and that attack boost really goes for game, and then even if you have to go into Fleur Beatdown, you can go into Fleur Beatdown pretty reliably. Now, the hand traps are the same. Don't rarely shame me here, okay? This is all I can afford. So we got the triple Ash and the Gamma package. Standard stuff. Gamma, light targets, more light targets. The more light targets, the better for this build, because you want to get in the construct, pretty fast. Ash and Gamma in the main, standard stuff. All right, now off to the spell cards. What we have our newest additions, triple Nadir Servants. Nadir Servant adds so much more consistency to this deck, and I love having Nadir so much, especially at triple copies, because it's just activate Nadir and you get a cliche. You pretty much off of one Nadir you get even if your hand is like Nadir and another just a random card, you get, if you like activate Nadir, you literally get a negate and then a window. So it's Nadir. Enough said. Don't take those out. We're not done with spells yet. So after that, we got triple branded opening. As I said before, branded opening, amazing card, does not discard for cost, which is absolutely insane. So it procs all your Shaddolls effects and also tragedy. So you can activate branded opening in the draw phase. Be like, okay, send tragedy, boo, special summon Alibur, chain block out, so you can get that Alibur surge that you will most likely desperately need. And don't forget this graveyard effect. Please do not forget this graveyard effect. I've done it so many times and it's cost me so many games just because I straight up forgot this effect in grave, that I can go like, okay, you're trying to kill my fusion monster, banish, okay, but I've forgotten it and I've lost games because of it. Don't forget it, please, just don't. Next, this is a change I made. Triple Super Poly. I had it at double before, and then I played it with double, and I'm like, I don't like just not having another Super Poly. I want a higher chance to draw this because I have, most of the time you have very few outs of certain cards, and Dragoon is one of them. And so Super Poly, and it's just out to those like giant, those humongous, those dry charm boards if you're going second. And if you happen to have this in hand or in a Despia, you're golden, because you can just summon Albert. They'll most likely be like, okay, I'm gonna negate that summon with Ultimatus or Perfection, whichever one they decide to run. You'd be like, okay, I'm gonna chain Super Poly, discard, use the Herald and the Dragoon, and you're like, and you're there, and you're chilling on a big boy Promise skin. This is another change I made, and it would be 2 Shaddoll fusions. I took out a third one because it's just the late game. It's horrible. If you already burn through all your Shaddolls, which you usually end up burning through them fairly quickly in the matchup, depending on how your game is going, just seeing a third one in the hand is just absolutely horrible, and you do not want to see that. But that's pretty much the main reason why I cut it down to 2 instead of 3. Just because when you draw and you have no Shaddolls left in your graveyard, it sucks. I'm not in your graveyard, sorry. In your deck or in your hand, it sucks, and you're just like, wow, this is absolutely dead. And the next spells, double Allure. I did run it at triple Allure. That's another card I cut. For another card that we will see, it's, you know, Allure is Allure. In another build that I will be showcasing, Allure will definitely be at 3. And now for our ones, we have Theater, the fusion spell, Duster, and Called By for, you know, reasons, because Called By is Called By, Duster is Duster, and the Theater you desperately need to fuse. In this build, it's only at 1 because this build is pretty much more Shaddoll focused, if I'm being completely honest with you. And so we're gonna go ahead. And go to our 2 traps. We run 1 Schism and then 1 Punishment. These 2 cards are saving graces for this deck, if I'm being completely honest. These 2 trap cards put in so much work, because Schism, you guys all know what Schism does. You know, bring out Winda, send a Dark if they have a Dark. And that ends a lot of turns. And then Punishment is Punishment. Send I don't know, anything. We'll target, send anything with that attack stat or higher, and then you're chilling for the most part. All right, we're gonna head over onto the extra deck. I'm gonna put these over here. And now for the extra deck, double Quiritus. He's amazing. He's so obnoxious, and he's very annoying for people to get over. Because if you're destroying, pretty much, if you don't have a a level 8 or higher fusion, and you're trying to end your main phase, I could just go like, you know, end of main phase, his effect, make everything 0, and then you kind of have to force him out with a card effect, unless you have more extension and you actually, you know, read him, and you're like, oh, dang. Yeah, dang. So, and then we have, for second, and he's our big Super Poly target. Pretty much the only time you bring him out is with Super Poly, if I'm being absolutely 100% real with you guys. Because other than that, you don't really bring him out that often. You bring him out sometimes. And he's a quick effect, either banish extra deck monster from your opponent's graveyard, or, you know, Monster Reborn him to your side of the field. The really neat thing with, if you do that with Dragoon, you still get the negate, and I believe you still get the pop since it was summoned with Red Eyes and Dark Magician. I don't know, I haven't done that yet, I haven't gotten the chance. When I was about to do it, my opponent just scooped, and I was like, okay. And we have, with our Shaddolls, double Construct. It's Construct. Double Winda. Yeah, again, it's Winda. 1 Apcalon. You're searching Schism. That's all Apcalon is there for. He does nothing else in this deck. Titaniclad. My Europrint Titaniclad. Very, very pretty and darker. Because, again, Titaniclad. Punishment target, excuse me, or Nadir target, whichever one, depending on your situation. 1 Intis, 1 Starving Venom, run Mud Dragon of the Swamp. For our Link monsters, we got Verte, Link Karibo, and Gravity Controller. Link Karibo is actually very nice, because there's sometimes you have hands where it's just, okay, I have Tragedy and not really anything else, so sometimes it's just best to normal summon Tragedy, link them off to the Link Karibo, and Link Karibo is at least a body on board, so you're not dying next turn. 100% dying next turn. You'd be like, okay, and then when they go to battle phase, you just be like, you know, I'll Link Karibo that attack, just tribute them off, and at least you have a turn to survive. Gravity Controller, for when you just draw Shaddoll Fusion and nothing else. And so you just make construct and then, you know, link off. And you can go, okay, gravity controller, okay, add back schism. And then you can, I guess you can make app column if you really wanted to hard make it. But that's not really the style, and that's not really what you want to do. Now, this was the current list. As I said before, I will be updating this, excuse me. So with that, that's the list. This is a shorter video, and I will, whenever I get that Fallen of Albat stuff, I'll go ahead, go run it around, because I do have a list that I've been testing and that I do like on EDO Pro and stuff like that. And once I get those cards in, I'll definitely show you guys, and I'll try to get gameplay videos with this as well. Since I did finally grab my new computer, I'll be able to go ahead and stream those games if you want to catch them on Twitch. I will start streaming later this week, possibly. I might do a test run tonight or tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure yet. And most likely tonight I might do a test run. I don't know. But I'll go ahead and keep you guys posted. If you wait all the way through this video, all the way to this 11-minute portion, I know, long video, go ahead and give it a like. Give the video a like. Go ahead and comment down below what you like, what you dislike, anything that you feel is off with my ratios, and I'll most likely take it into consideration, see everything out, because, you know, always open to criticism. Go ahead, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will catch you guys